Hello, my amazing friends. How are you today? My name is Ashley Amudzai, intuitive life coach and mindset expert for high-performing female entrepreneurs. I support women in elevating their lifestyle, their income, and most importantly, their impact from mediocre to magical. And I specialize in releasing the trapped energies and emotions that are in our space. And over the past 7.5 years that I've been a coach, specifically working with female entrepreneurs, what I have found the number one thing that holds women back in achieving their goals, going for their dreams, is actually invisible. Most people, when they bump up against something that's uncomfortable, they think maybe it's I'm in the wrong niche, maybe it's my strategy or my marketing, maybe it's Mercury retrograde, whatever that is. They think that that's what it is, but it's not. It's actually in between your ears. That is your mindset. And so that is what we're going to go over today. Healing through mindset. And I'm going to go over, I'll break down what this is going to look like for you guys. But you can heal anything through mindset. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others, the relationship with your body or your business, whatever that is. The tools that I'm going to offer you today can be applied to all of the above, which is really amazing. Okay, so let's get started. In this training, we're going to go over 4 main things. Number 1, understanding your conscious mind versus your subconscious mind. Now, we can totally go down the rabbit hole here, but I'm going to keep it really simple and very memorable for you guys. Number 2 is why your perspective determines everything and what we can do about it. Number 3, my top tip for shifting your mindset in an instant. This is really amazing. It's a great topic that I love to share on stages. And then number 4 is, what about those stubborn beliefs? Some of them are really easy to shift, but what about those stubborn beliefs? And that is where I have a flow chart for you guys to help you navigate limiting beliefs. Also, before we get started, you have access to that PDF. Pause this video, click the link, download your PDF, and then you'll be able to follow along in navigating your own limiting beliefs. So number 1, let's understand the mind. How does this work? What is the difference between the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind? So again, we can go down the rabbit hole and get into all the details, but I'm going to keep it short, simple, and memorable for you guys. Here's what I want you to realize. Your subconscious mind here, it takes everything literally, everything personally, and everything seriously that your conscious mind says. So if you want to envision it like a ship, your conscious mind is kind of like the captain at the top of the ship. Say there's a little captain here saying hello. The captain tells the staff, what are they called below? The shipmates, the ship people, the crew. The captain tells the crew what to do. Now the crew doesn't know what's going on above the water. They can't see. So they have to trust everything that the captain says. So if the captain says, you're not good enough, then the subconscious mind says, okay guys, she's not good enough, he's not good enough, let's go out there and look for evidence that she's not good enough, okay? And then what happens in your subconscious mind is what goes out there and connects with the universe and works with universal laws to manifest your reality. So if the captain of the ship, your conscious mind, the thoughts that you are deliberately thinking, if they are not in alignment with your abundance and what it is that you want to create, then guess what? You're not going to create it. And if you're not happy or satisfied with where you are right now and what the life that you've lived today, here's the good news. All we have to do is have a chit chat with the captain and switch that verbiage. And once we start telling ourselves new affirmations that will align with the truth that we want to create, align with that reality that we want to create, it goes to the subconscious mind and we tell the crew below, this is actually what I want and this is what we're doing. So we're going to go through some other beliefs. What's another example that we can come up with? I encourage you to have some pen and paper. And as you think of blocks that come up or limiting beliefs or something that you feel resistance to, write it down and we'll be able to elaborate more in this training. So another one with the conscious mind is, say that the captain of the ship, the thought that we're thinking is like, oh, I'm always broke. I'm always broke. I'm always broke. Guess what? Then the subconscious mind, the crew below are like, okay guys, let's go find evidence to prove that she's always broke. What you think about, you bring about, and your thoughts become your reality. So understand that that's how it works. And again, the gift of this is that all we have to do is shift our conscious thoughts to get us started. All right, so number 2 is understanding that your perspective is everything. As you guys know, I am an intuitive, and I was doing a session and this came through, this little story that I'm going to share with you. Now, let's envision we have 2 children. Say they're about like 3 or 4 years old. A little girl has been told that butterflies, that they are magical and kind and they make all of your dreams come true. By contrast, we have a boy around the same age, and he has been told that butterflies breathe fire and eat children. Okay, so now let's entertain ourselves and say, obviously 2 different perspectives. What's going to happen when that little girl sees a butterfly? She's going to lean in, she's going to be so happy, she's going to share that wish with the butterfly, knowing that it's going to come true and to fruition, right? It's going to be a pleasant experience, and she's going to spend time in that space of vision and dreaming. Now, what's going to happen when that little boy who believes that butterflies eat children and breathe fire, what's going to happen for him? Right? Obviously, he's going to freak out because all he knows is what he's been told. And what happens is there are 2 main ways. There are many ways, but 2 main ways that I have found in working, as a coach, that our thoughts are formed. Number 1 is through childhood programming, what we have been told by the people in our environment and what we have believed to be true for ourselves. The other one is evidence-based adult experiences. So if we have something that happens to us over and over and over again, and there's a pattern, that's obviously going to form a belief for us too, which has something to do with childhood programming. But again, that's another rabbit hole. So the moral of the story is that it's all about your perspective. So the butterfly is neutral energy. Here's what I want you to remember. Butterfly is the neutral energy. We don't know the truth about butterflies if they grant wishes or if they breathe fire and eat children. We don't know, right? And obviously, like, none of those are true. I don't know if butterflies grant wishes, but I'm pretty sure they don't breathe fire and eat children. So they had 1 neutral energy, 2 perspectives, and 2 reactions. So now I want you to be really mindful of what are the beliefs that you have accepted to be true for you, and how are they leading to your own reaction, your own perspective, and therefore your own reality. Because what happens is it starts with a belief. Okay, I want you guys to write this down. It starts with a statement. It starts with a statement. You say it enough, and that statement becomes a belief. You believe it enough, and that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Right now, the story with both of these kids, they have been told, oh, butterflies grant wishes. A statement. Say it again and again and again. You believe it. You believe it enough, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I'm going to show you some examples here. So here's our happy butterfly, and here's our angry butterfly to share and show different sides. So money is a neutral energy. You guys, it is neutral. Money is energy. If it's not coming your way, it just means we need to align your energy to it. And I am proof of this 100%, because as a mindset coach, I work on my tools every day, and that is how I'm able to accomplish the amazing things that I'm able to accomplish and blow my own mind with on my vision board. And I want that for you. And that is why this training is so important. So money is the butterfly, if you will. It is that neutral energy. Now, we can have the positive thoughts around money, and that is, money always shows up for me. I am always supported, right? Maybe you had a family member around you, or maybe it was your parents who were financially well off, and they felt like money was always there. So then as a young child, you accepted the belief that money always shows up for me. It's always there. I'm never without, okay? In contrast, say there's somebody else, and their parents or their aunt or uncle, whoever, is like, oh, we can't afford that. We don't have enough money. We can't. We're always broke. And that child, and you as a child, and if you're a parent, be really mindful of what we tell our children, because the verbiage that we use with them becomes their inner voice. It's so important. So if we as a child accept the belief that money is scarce, you're going to develop an adult belief of money disappears. There's never enough. I never know when it's going to show up. Money is neutral. Neither of these are true unless you believe them to be true, because what you believe about your reality is ultimately true. Right, let's take another neutral belief here, neutral energy, and that is success. Now, this is whatever success means to you, but this is something that I personally had to navigate for myself. So here's a positive perspective if you have really positive influences around this. I would say you achieve a new level of success. Maybe, and I'll use myself personally, I was recently featured in Entrepreneur Magazine. Oh, it's huge. I'm speaking on stages in front of hundreds of people. Ah, that's huge. More and more things are happening. And this is actually where I started. Actually, I'm going to start over here. And it was like, oh my gosh, the more money I have, the more problems I'm going to have. If people know that I'm making money, maybe they're going to sue me. I'm going to have to pay more in taxes, right? Negative, negative, negative. What you believe about your reality is ultimately true. So if I tell the captain up top, hey guys, more money, more problems, the crew below are like, okay guys, let's make some more problems for her. And I was like, oh man, I immediately have to shift over to this perspective, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that in the next step. Here's another fear that you may have around success. Let's just say hello to this and work the energy. The fear of being seen. The more public I am, being featured in a magazine, or maybe for you, it's having a feature in your own magazine, more social media exposure, whatever that is, that means more haters. I'm going to have more trolls. Oh my gosh, oh no. What if they make fun of me? We start degrading ourselves in all of the ways that people could be tearing us apart. So we have a choice to be on this side of it, angry butterfly, or on this one. And you can think a better thought of, I was made for this. I always knew I could do this. And I love rolling with the big dogs. Here's another one. I'm going to share my personal belief with this. As I used to be so afraid of like doctors and lawyers, and oh my gosh, they're just like on this pedestal, and then I just shift my mindset. They're normal people, okay? Millionaires are normal people like you and me. And so now I started telling myself a new belief. I love rolling with the big dogs. This is my playground. So I encourage that for you guys as well. Be mindful of your mindset. Which energy are you leaning more towards? So a recap of that. Remember that this is so important. You guys screenshot this if you would like. Definitely take notes, pause the video, whatever it takes. These are your top takeaways right now that will change your life. What you believe about your reality is ultimately true. We have to take this seriously, and we have to mind our mind, and also your perspective determines your reaction. So are you reacting to things in life, or are you responding? That's another really, really big one. And your perspective also determines your reality. You have a choice in what you believe. If you don't like your belief system right now, let's connect and stay tuned to the rest of this video, because I'm going to show you how you can shift that, because you deserve to feel empowered in your mindset. It's your mindset. And then, of course, this is one of the most important things. Any belief that we have, it once started with a statement, that little itty bitty seed turned into a belief. If you say it enough, that belief, and you believe it enough, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is exactly the flow of how everything happens in your life. So if you're not liking a certain area of where you're at, say, what is the belief that I must be believing to attract this in my life? And where did that statement come from? And then we're going to go into the flow chart to share a little bit more about that. So let's dive into step number 3, or to tool number 3. And this is my favorite, how you can change your mindset in an instant. I love speaking to large groups of people about this because it's just so much fun. It is called the Bend and Snap. Are you guys familiar with Elle Woods from Legally Blonde? Absolutely love her. And if you aren't familiar, you got to go look up the Bend and Snap on YouTube from Legally Blonde. But in here, what she does is she bends and snaps. I really hope most of you guys know what that is. Otherwise, it's going to sound ridiculous. So I won't explain the backstory. So go YouTube it. So the point of this tool is that we want to, if we are in a low vibrational state of thinking, right? Like, stick with me here. I know you can see me in my little video. And we're thinking like, I'm always broke. Things don't work out for me. Like, we're kind of in that Eeyore space. How is our energy? You guys can see me in the video. I'm like hunched over. Bleh. If we find ourselves in that state, what you think about, you bring about. So we don't want to stay here. Instead, we want to say, hello, I acknowledge this energy, I acknowledge this feeling, and I choose to feel whatever I need to feel right now. However, bend and snap and choose a higher vibrational thought. Again, this is so fun to do with a ton of audience members. as we're all doing the bend and snap. And in this moment, you have a choice to choose a better thought in that moment. So let's go over some examples. 2 ways to look at life. Which one are you? Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares, whatever that is, right? If you want to stay in that space, you stay down here. But I know you, and you are here listening to this training and this video because you want to grow. So we're going to bend and snap. And you can like really add some hip movement into it if you want, whatever works for you. To nobody gives a shit, right? So there's always for any negative belief or feeling, there's always a positive that we can shift it to. Now, it's not always as easy as bend and snap, right? It can be, but we have to acknowledge, where did that belief come from in the first place? And that's going to move us into our next tool, because we want to get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into this. But which one are you? How are you living your life right now? And do you need to bend and snap? Okay, so here are some great examples here. And I'm going to move my camera to the side for you guys. Hey. All right. I'm always broke. 2 great waves of abundance are flowing to me right now. You guys, take a screenshot of this too. All like this right here has gotten me so far in my life and my business, this affirmation right here. So I'm always broke. Great waves of abundance are flowing to me right now. Maybe you're thinking, my best is never enough. No matter how hard I try, no matter what I do, my best is never enough. And then you can shift it. You know what? My best is always enough because it's my best. And that's a personal belief that I had to shift and say over and over again, you know what? It is enough because I did it and that was the best that I could do. Here's my favorite, actually. There's never enough time. Never enough time. Do you guys feel like that in your life, in your business, as a parent, as a wife, all of those things? So here is a great one. All successful people are made in the same 24 hours, right? Here's another good one. Like, you catch yourself in this low vibrational space, attracting more low vibrational things. So in a moment, we're going to make that choice to bend and snap. And how about this one? The universe expands time for me. The universe expands time for me, right? We don't have to stay in this low vibrational space. We can choose again in that moment. And that's actually my newest one, is the universe expands time for me, but also all successful people are made in the same 24 hours. And if you aren't grateful for what you have, then why would God give you more, right? Here's another one. A great way is to ask questions, right? Because sometimes it's not as easy, like, okay, what's my positive affirmation? I'm so in it. I feel so stuck right now. How do I even think of a positive affirmation? So what you can do is ask questions. I'm always running on empty. I feel so exhausted. I'm doing so many things for so many people, right? So you can ask yourself a smart question. Good leaders ask smart questions. Not only if you're a coach, asking your clients, if you're a parent asking your kids, or if it's you asking yourself, it doesn't matter. Ask smart questions. How can I fill up my cup today? I feel like I have nothing. I feel so exhausted. What can I be grateful for today? So those are just some smart questions that you can ask yourself to help you bend and snap. Anyone resonate with this? All right, so I'm going to disappear here. And I'm going to help you navigate these limiting beliefs. Here is the actual full flow chart for you guys. Be sure to, again, download this PDF. And this is gold. Gold. I love this so much. And it is great for stubborn beliefs. So we're going to break it down here. And again, what are your limiting beliefs? Work them through this. If you guys have questions, please connect with me. I want to help you out. All right, so the limiting belief that I have chosen for us today is, I'm not good enough and no one will listen to me. Those are 2. You know, I've worked with so many people and used this chart to support them in releasing any of these crazy beliefs that they have had. And perfect. Okay, moving my screen out of the way for you. So what is your limiting belief? And I'll go through a few and give you guys a few different examples here. So you're here. I'm not good enough. I feel like no one will listen to me. Those are 2 of them. The first thing I want you to ask yourself is, did this come from love or did this come from fear? Because if it came from love, then cool, good for you. And you're probably feeling awesome, which means it's not a limiting belief. But if it came from fear, here is what I want you to remember. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And you have two options when you bump up against fear. You can either forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. And I know you, and I know that you are a leader, and that you are all about facing everything and rising, right? So we're going to move to the next step here. It's really important for us to get on the same team with our body. Oftentimes we have this disconnect between who we are, and I'm going to bring this more into like a body image example of a limiting belief, is a lot of people, they might look at themselves in the mirror and they'll point at themselves, their reflection, and say like, you're fat, you're ugly, you have stretch marks, you have freckles. I don't know, whatever it is that we say sometimes when we're pointing at a reflection. You. But me, I'm working out. I'm calculating macros. I'm doing this and this and this. But you, do you see how there's a disconnect there sometimes between, in this example with body image, in this example, it's about a separation of ourselves. Now tell me, how can we move forward if we're not even on the same team with our body? If we're doing this like separation of our own identity, it doesn't make sense. Like we have to get on the same team with our body. And with our mindset too. So we can't say, man, I'm always thinking I'm not good enough and no one's going to listen to me. Like, why do I think this way? Why do I always do this? And then we get in this toilet bowl, right? Of like, why me? Why is this happening? No. Stop right there. Here's step number 2. Why would it make perfect sense for you to think that? Let's take a moment to get on the same team with your body as if it's your own inner child and give it a big hug. And maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe it's like, I've like tried really hard at things and then it didn't turn out, or I took a test and I failed, or I wanted to do this huge launch and like nobody signed up. I feel like I'm not good enough. Maybe no one will listen to me. Why would it make sense? Well, I feel like I'm on social media all the time and nobody even likes my stuff. Or I try to like speak up in a meeting and I feel like I get ignored. Right? So it makes perfect sense. You didn't make this up. Any belief that you're feeling, like you didn't make it up. It happened. And it's there for you for a reason. So now let's move to step 3. And let's say identify whose voice is that. Can you guys remember the butterfly example? And I said that one of the main ways that we develop our thoughts is through childhood programming. And so our brain really develops between like in the womb space to about age 5. And I've heard some people say even all the way up to age 8. And so our subconscious programming, we are just out there as little recorders in the world, absorbing all of the information. Who is the first person that ever told you you're not good enough? Or they made you feel like you weren't worthy of being listened to? Because here's the thing about kids. Kids believe everything you tell them. Little kids do. And they believe in everything. They believe in themselves. They believe they're the fastest and they're the smartest. And if you've ever seen a child jump off of the monkey bars and like vigorously flap his arms because part of him is convinced that he actually can fly, it's because kids believe. And then along the way, someone tells us, oh, you can't do that. Money doesn't grow on trees. They shush you. I don't want to listen to that. And then it becomes a belief. So whose voice is that? And you're probably going to find it's not yours. It was somebody else's, right? So not good enough. I'll give you a personal example for myself of I'm not good enough, and that limiting belief. As I remember a certain person in my life saying, you can't do that. You're too stressed out to do X, Y, and Z. You know, and it's like, oh, I'm not good enough to do that. Like I can't balance it. I'm not smart enough. I'm not this enough. I'm not blah, blah, blah enough, right? I guess she's right because she's the adult, right? She's the parent. No, BS, I call it. BS. No one will listen to me. You know, this is, again, a really big one where you imagine yourself being a little girl and you're out there and you're like dancing and putting on a performance and people are like, shh, you're too loud. Like, stop talking, right? So we have to realize that it didn't originate from us. So we need to separate this belief from who we are. It doesn't have to define us. And then moving through that is this ultimately true? Is it ultimately true? And it's not. Is it ultimately true that no one's going to listen to you? No. That you're not good enough? No. And so what we have to do is go through and find evidence that it's not true. An example, no one will listen to me, right? Where you're like, well, my best friend listens to me. My dog listens to me. Okay, so I guess it's not ultimately true, right? Those are examples because you want to prove it's not ultimately true. Okay, so moving to step number 4 of what we want to do with this limiting belief is thank you for showing me what I need to heal. Because if this limiting belief is coming up, it's showing up for you for a reason. It's coming up for review. So let's say hello to that and then work the energy. And I say work the energy a lot because I am an intuitive and I love using all of my spiritual tools as well, which I'm not focusing on here, but it's another tool that you can use if you guys are curious and would like more information. So it's coming up for review and it's showing you what you need to heal, because did you even know that you had those limiting beliefs in your space? Did you know that someone once told you that and that's why you believed it? No, it's showing up to protect you. It's showing up because that is something that you believed. It was a statement that you believed that became a self-fulfilling prophecy, and now it's your opportunity to heal it. So let's say hello, and I will choose again because you have that conscious choice. All right, step 5 is let's create a new belief, right? Your brain, I forgot how many thoughts you guys think. It's like 30,000 or something crazy a day or an hour. I don't remember what it was, but we think all the time. Give your brain something to think about because whenever we release something, we're going to fill it with something different. So let's just shift it with a new belief. And then we'll create an affirmation to support that new belief and say it at least 3 times daily. I'll go into that too, but first I want to break down some of the what's a bend and snap basically for our original limiting belief. Now that we've kind of navigated through that and realizing it's not mine, it was actually from somebody else. It was here to protect me. It was showing me what I need to heal, but I don't need you anymore. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will choose again. And so I'm not good enough. How about we bend and snap that into, I have been elevated to a position such as this. Have you guys felt that in your life or your business? Maybe you're a mom and you're like, I am not good enough to be a mom. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. A lot of us have thought that, like, why are you trusting me with this human being? And then a better thought to say daily and remind yourself of is that I have been elevated to a position such as this. I have been divinely chosen as a mother to step into this space. And this is a position that I've been chosen to fulfill, which is almost like when someone believes in you and they give you a promotion before you kind of mentally feel like you're ready for it. You've been elevated to a position such as this. Choose to show up. That shifts the energy completely around I'm not good enough, right? Here's another one in your business is, maybe I'm not good enough to be a coach. Maybe I'm not good enough to speak on that topic. Maybe I'm not good enough to lead these people. And this same affirmation is I have been elevated to a position such as this. This is my personal one that I feel so empowered and so excited moving forward, knowing that you're freaking right. No one can do this but me. Like, I was chosen for this. This isn't luck or chance. This is my time. The wait is over. My time is now. Another one of no one will listen to me. Here's a great bend and snap for that. No one else can sing my song. Of all of the artists that are out there in the world, everybody has their own unique frequency, right? Just like we have our own unique fingerprints, you can hear Taylor Swift on the radio, and she has that very unique voice, right? That incredibly unique voice, and you can recognize it anywhere, or Whitney Houston or Celine Dion, because no one else can sing their song, and they can't sing it as well as they can. And it's the same thing for you. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, whatever it is that you're focusing on in your life, in your business, no one else can sing your song but you. That is your gift to the world. And remember that. All right, here's some other ideas that I have that my clients, some limiting beliefs and then positive shifting beliefs that I have shared with my clients and also used for myself. Maybe it's money isn't there for me. money doesn't show up. I can't trust money. So a good bend and snap mindset and perspective shift is I trust money and money trusts me. And just say that. Put your hand over your heart right now, and I invite you to close your eyes and take a really, really deep breath. And then release. And just open your eyes and say that affirmation aloud and really feel into it. I trust money and money trusts me. On a scale of 1 to 10, how true does that feel for you right now? How true does that feel for you? Because if you're a 10, awesome, you're probably doing really well with money right now. But if you're on a lower scale and you're like, oh, I may be like 2 or a 5 or a 6, whatever that is, that's telling us very clearly that there's a mindset block in that area that we need to shift and eliminate. Because if you don't trust money, money's not going to trust you. I had this beautiful, another reading that I had channeled for a client. And I said, because this is basically what hers was, is she's like, she's a realtor and it's like, it feels like it's feast or famine. And I feel like deals can fall apart. I don't know if I can trust it. And she's like, I don't trust myself and I don't trust money. And I was like, here's what I'm seeing for you is imagine that you're in a forest, right? So I invite you guys to entertain this vision as well. Imagine that you're in a forest and you lean forward and you have maybe some like berries in your hand or grass or greener treats, whatever a deer would want. What do deer eat? And say they eat berries, maybe apples, in your hands, and you lean your hand out and you see this little deer who represents money. And the deer, if you're still and you're patient, the deer will slowly, step by step, come your way. But what a lot of people do, rather than trusting that the deer is going to come in perfect divine timing, rather what they do is the deer is taking too long and they like throw their hands up and they're like, oh my gosh, like why is it taking so long? Like I give up. I'm doing everything I possibly could. Rah, rah, rah. What happens to that deer? It's like, run away. Oh my gosh, she's crazy. I don't want to go near her. I don't trust that lady, and that lady obviously doesn't trust me. That's what people do with money. Like y'all give up before it's like tissue paper right in front of you. It's so simple. All we have to do is lean into that space, lean into that trust. And now let's revisit that. What happens if you have your hand open and you say this affirmation of I trust money and money trusts me? I trust money and money trusts me. We're just releasing and replacing that belief of money isn't there for me, right? What's going to happen over time? You're going to open your eyes and you're going to see that beautiful baby deer nibbling out of your hand. And you just had your first 10K, 20K month or day in business or whatever your goal is. But we have to trust. We have to be patient. We have to believe this right here rather than this red. So I would love to know how that resonated with you guys, because I've shared that with quite a few people and they're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I do. I like give up, and I have done it myself, which is how I know. Okay, let's move on to the second one of I'm stuck. I don't know. Like I just feel lost. I don't know my next steps. What do I do? Here is another favorite affirmation. Again, let's put your hand on your heart here. We'll take a big deep breath. Say, and you can read this black font out loud. I may not know the answer right now, but something inside of me does. I may not know the answer right now, but something inside of me does. And this is so important because my goal in supporting women is that we don't have to delegate our power anymore. We don't have to give our power away. We can look inward and everything is already within us. So I may not know the answer right now, but something inside of me does. When you lean into that, what you believe about your reality is ultimately true, right? Let's go back to this. If you're like, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. This isn't working. The captain tells the crew, and the crew's like, okay guys, she wants to be stuck. We're not going anywhere right now, okay? Let's make sure that we don't move the pin at all in our life or business. So instead, we're going to open up opportunity with this affirmation. And this last one here, why didn't that work out? Like, why did that person break up with me? Why did I lose that job? Why did this opportunity pass me by? Whatever that is. Rather than being stuck in that low vibrational energy, again, thinking of the bend and snap, we're going to bend and snap into that higher vibration, and instead answer with, I know that it is this or something better. This or something better. I don't care if it was your dream client, or if it was your dream job, or your dream puppy dog, or your dream whatever. It is this or something better that is happening your way. If you get stuck in these red zones here, you're going to create more of that. But I am about up-leveling your mindset. And so that is why we want to choose some really smart beliefs here. Are you guys with me? Okay, so moving onward. Now you can see the Navigating Limiting Beliefs flowchart that I was leading you through is a little bit different than, I'm going to pop up on the screen again. Here we go. Hope you guys can see me. Is a little bit different than this one right here. This one has a little bit more detail. So what I wanted to say is that we've really gone over some of the top limiting beliefs and also positive bend and snaps that we could do for each of them. Now what happens, say for example, I trust, the original belief was, I'm really afraid of money and like money doesn't show up for me. So we go through this whole thing, insert new belief, and then we say, I trust money and money trusts me. Great waves of abundance are flowing to me now. And you choose this belief and you write it down. You guys, place this affirmation somewhere where you are going to see it. If you want to reprogram that subconscious mind, then you have to be the captain in charge of what you're putting out there. And I have my affirmations everywhere, on my bathroom mirror, in my bedroom mirror, on the visor of my phone, of my car. I have them pop up on my phone. They're everywhere. They're on sticky notes on my desk because I am very intentional about shifting my mindset. And if your brain is always looking for something to think about, give it something to think about, something positive. So, by the way, I want to touch back on this. Say it 3 times daily, at least. When you're brushing your teeth, create an anchor point. Every time I brush my teeth, I look at the bathroom mirror and I read this one affirmation over and over again for the 2 minutes that I'm brushing my teeth. Y'all are at home right now, washing your hands for 2 happy birthdays or whatever it is. While you're washing your hands, I want you to look at that affirmation and say it again and again and again, because we want that conscious mind and captain to be programming and sharing this information with your subconscious mind. And once it's in the subconscious mind, what happens? Connects with the universe and starts to manifest your reality. So now say that you're like, okay, I said this affirmation, I've been saying it, but you have another thought again of like, oh, what if money doesn't show up for me? I feel like I'm broke. Whatever, you get that ouch feeling around money. And you're like, okay, I'm going to start right here again. And this is what I haven't gone over. If a limiting belief is still lingering, you can touch back here. So here's what I'd like you to do. You start here, and there are 2 tools I would love for you to tap into. Number 1 is the cancel method. So what you have to remember is that in our brain, we have a neural pathway that, imagine tall grass. Tall grass. And we've developed a neural pathway, which is basically us walking through one lane or one path in the grass. And the more we walk that path, the more you believe, I'm always going to be broke. No one wants to listen to me. And most of us have been saying this for a couple of decades, since we were little kids when we first believed and accepted this to be true for us. I'm never going to be successful. Money isn't good for me. Whatever that is. We walk that path over and over and over again. And what happens to that tall grass? It creates a path. So then if we want to shift our belief, change that neural pathway, we're going to be walking through some tall grass again. It's going to be way easier to take the old route. It's basically what I'm saying, right? Because now we have to carve a new one, which is why we want to say these affirmations consistently again and again. So that way we're carving this new path, and eventually the old one will grow over, and you will become unavailable for those low vibrational thoughts that you were thinking. But if you find something that is still lingering, right? You're walking on your new path, and you're carving out the new path from the tall grass, aka the neural pathways, but something still keeps showing up. Here's what I would like you to do. Cancel. Because if you see it in your space and you start walking down the old path, just like, no. Okay, I see it. I'm saying hello, and I'm cancel. Not even going to continue walking the path, and you're going to shift to the new one. So you interrupt that flow. And the other thing that you can do is saying release. This is so powerful. Again, you can put one hand over your heart. I also invite you to put one hand over your belly if you would like, and just take a really deep breath. I'll have you do this with me. Deep inhale. And then as you release through the exhale, just say release, release, release. And honestly, if you just set the intention, of whatever's in my space, I want it to release, it will. But also, if you notice that fear of money showing up, right? You're like, cancel, cancel, cancel. I'm not taking that old path. I'm choosing my new one with my new affirmation of great waves of abundance are flowing to me right now. But wherever that is stored in my body, wherever I'm holding that tension or emotion, I'm choosing to release, release, release. And it literally feels like a balloon that's just like, and releasing all of that trapped energy. And that's what we want for you too, releasing the trapped energies and the suppressed emotions, and to help us choose again. So we can say release 8 times, or as much as you need it. I also really encourage you guys to say this before bed. We take on so much in our lives during the day. Put your right hand over your heart, your left hand over your belly. Take a really deep breath and just set the intention of whatever is in my space, whatever small thinking that is in my way today and tomorrow and beyond. I just choose to release, 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 and do a deep inhale and exhale, and just know that you are falling asleep peacefully without those blocks and densities and burdens in your space. And that leaves you clear-headed, clear-spirited, all of the things to go out there and manifest. So again, cancel, cancel, save, release. Did this come from love or fear? And then you can continue to move through these affirmation, or not, well, all the way to an affirmation, but to this entire flow chart as well. So I would love to know, do you guys have any questions? What stood out to you the most? I would love to know, what are your limiting beliefs and how is this flow chart helping you? Because I could seriously go on forever and ever with different beliefs. And, but I feel like this is enough for today because that was quite a bit of information. But with that, I am so honored to do this training for you guys today. Let me disappear here. So honored to do this training for you guys today. Again, my name is Ashley Amudzai, intuitive life coach and mindset expert. Feel free to join the conversation on any of my social media sites, and you can also contact me on my website, which is ashleymudzai.com, and I truly look forward to getting to know you better. So let's stay connected, and I will chat with you soon. Wishing you guys an amazing day full of amazing things. All right, bye.